Celebrating 30 years of phenomenal trend forecasting, 5 times a week, Monday through Friday. Here's Gerald Celente with today's trends in the news.
Hi, this is Gerald Celente. It's Wednesday, December 16th, 2015. And here are some of today's trends in the news. Well, it's a historical day today, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. First time since June of 2006 that the Federal Reserve raised interest rates. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Yeah. Can you imagine? And as expected, up a measly 25 basis points. And the word on the street when it happened, the Fed was dovish. Yeah, things don't look as great as they are, but we'll make them what they are, because what they are is what they is, and there could be more or less, and we don't know. But poof, the markets went way up over here in the States. That's right. At first, they didn't go up much at all. Hey, maybe part of the national team came over here and boosted them, because there was no reason for them to go up, but shoo, they shot up well over 200 points. But oil, whoo, shoo, whop, down. Who would have thought that Mr. Brent would be selling at around $37 a barrel? And gold went up. You know why gold went up? Because Fed's dovish. Yeah. So people are saying, well, they may raise interest rates 2 more times, 1 more time, 4 more times, maybe no more times. So there you got it. Overseas, things were basically flat. Hang Seng up. Nikkei unchanged. And Shanghai hung up a little bit. So here's the word. Fed Chair, Ms. Fatshbrut, said not to overblow the significance of the first hike and that policy remains accommodative. Yeah. Policy remains accommodative. This is disgusting language. We're going to keep Ponzi alive. Who's it accommodating? I'll tell you who. That mergers and acquisition, folks. And all those stock buybacks. She also said persistent changes, end quote, in market conditions would be needed to move the Fed off track. And the U.S. Central Bank was widely expected to raise the Fed funds rate by a quarter point, blah, 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 blah. And U.S. industrial production, by the way, this is why the market went up so much. I missed this. Saw its sharpest decline in more than 3.5 years. In November, as utilities dropped sharply, a sign of weakness that could moderate fourth quarter growth, industrial output slipped 0.6% after a downwardly revised 0.4% dip in October. Good reasons for the market to go up. Yeah, more juice. So there you got it. Oh, economists see up to 4 more Fed rates rising following Wednesday's expected move. This came out Monday. Chinese officials have acknowledged Fed rises would increase pressure on the yuan and contribute to outward flows of capital, an outlook shared by many other developing economies. That's right. Let's stay on this developing economies thing just a little bit more. Because as I keep saying, these emerging markets develop because of all that cheap money flowing out through quantitative easing, all that hot dough. Yep. Analysts say pressure on emerging market currencies is set to intensify as more capital outflows to safer havens and debt service costs may rise for thousands of companies that have borrowed in U.S. dollars. What makes the outlook particularly bleak is that even if emerging market currencies fall against the dollar, export earnings may fail to recover from their current falls. The self-righting mechanism that has rescued emerging markets from many financial squalls, cheaper currencies often boost exports, appears to have broken down. All right? They're finally admitting it, that cheaper currencies don't increase exports. We've been saying this over and over again. Yes, it does when the world economy is booming, but not in a slowdown. And here's the fact. Much of the concern centers on China. Chinese officials and independent economists say a rise in U.S. rates would probably bolster the dollar against the renminbi, leading to capital outflows from China and sucking emerging market currencies into new phases of turbulence. That means they're going lower. The redback, that's what they call the Chinese currency, we've got the greenback, it's down 4% against the U.S. dollar since August. All right, here we go. But in spite of the sharp depreciation in almost all emerging market currencies against the dollar over the past 18 months, emerging market exports have failed to recover, falling 12.5% year on year in October to mark the biggest collapse since the 2008-2009 crisis. You got it? So as these rates go up, the emerging markets go down. And of course, there's the fear over the weekend about the closure of these U.S. corporate bonds are not doing so good. So fears for health of U.S. corporate bond market as fund closure causes jitters. Expecting more of this. Again, as interest rates go up, more pressure on the junk bonds. And oil. An interesting story here in the Wall Street Journal. Learning from the oil bust between year-end 2007 and the end of 2014, oil and gas companies raised $255.7 billion in initial public offerings. All right? Look at oil prices. Look at the junk bonds. Look where the interest rates are going. Over the same period, asset managers launched over 100 mutual funds, exchange-traded funds, and closed-end funds specializing in energy stocks. The investing public pumped $64 billion into these funds. The guy goes on, but almost no one foresaw oil below $40, including me. And almost no one imagined, you ready for this? That real estate prices could drop before the 2000 and 2008 and 2009 financial crisis. Who's this? Jason Zweig. I guess you didn't read the TrendsJournal, Jason. Nobody knew, huh? We nailed it perfectly. Go back to your TrendsJournal. From 2004, we named the Great Recession and said it would hit, Jason, in 2007 and 2008, around that period. So we nailed it perfectly. And we wrote the Panic of '08 and took out the domain name, Jason, in 2007. You can look it up in GoDaddy. Yep. So, crude moves to sea as supplies swell. Storage in Western Europe is running at 97%. South Africa, the largest crude storage, is full. There's no place to send this thing. They're putting it on ships. Remember now, they're going to allow United States oil guys to export more product on the market. Iran coming in, more product on the market. So, some other news. It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday. What does that mean? Well, you either get your Trends Monthly or you get your Trends this week, and you got your Trends this week. And it's something that you won't read anywhere else because everybody's afraid to say it, and they can't really see it because, hey, nobody saw the real estate crash coming. Nobody saw low oil prices this low, so why should anybody see this? But here you can see it for yourself. Sunday's toilet paper of record. No more proof is needed than right here. Read your trend alert. New York Times, off trend with its transgender blitz. Here it is. Look at all this big type down here. All that red, I mark up things as I read. Part of a trend tracking way of doing things. So you highlight, that's another story, and you make notes. Anyway, a whole new being, how Cricket Nimmons sees the transgender moment. What do I care about how Cricket Nimmons sees the transgender moment? That's not a headline story. That's National Enquirer for inquiring minds that want to know. I don't want to know this stuff. I pay a lot of dough to get this damn thing delivered. I'm looking for facts and information. But look at the large type they put down the bottom, how they centered this. It gets better. I'm not making this up. Page 26 and 27, 2 full pages. How Cricket Nimmons, yeah? Hey, Cricket. Here we go. Not finished yet. Here we go. More Cricket. I wonder why I call this the toilet paper of record. All of this money and time and energy spent on this. Hey, they see that story that came out? That the middle class now is a minority in America? Shh, don't talk about it. Don't talk about all those currencies crashing around the world. Don't talk about 200% inflation rate in Venezuela. Don't make big stories of that. No. Yeah. More Cricket. 5-page package of Cricket. And then you go online, they got all of these interviews and all of this other stuff. Little movies of Cricket. But the whole thing is becoming stupid because all you had to do is tune in yesterday to the presidential reality show. What a disgrace. Little boys, all little boys talking tough to show you how stupid they are, all talking about foreign policy, more war, more death. Hey, I'm tired of you guys playing your Christian card. I'm an evangelical, says Trump. I'm a Seventh-day Adventist, says Carson. Rubio, I'm reading the Bible. Ted Cruz, and God help my father. I'm sick of your crap. Keep your God stuff to yourself. You're all in the eyes of the God that I was taught to love and obey after Catholic school is the Prince of Peace. The Prince of Peace, man, you guys aren't near him. All it was war talk. Here, listen to this little jerk Cruz. These are not men. Oh, and Carly Fiorina, save if only the women's were in charge. Another war hawk. Or hawkette. Here we go. I'm very proud to have joined with conservatives in both the Senate and the House to reform how we target this Cruz. Bad guys. Woo! We're targeting the bad guys. Yeah. We have the phones that terrorists are likely to use and focus on law enforcement is targeting the bad guys. You know what the Obama administration keeps getting wrong is whenever anything bad happens, they focus on law-abiding citizens instead of focusing on bad guys. Assad is a bad man. Gaddafi is a bad man. We need to focus on killing bad guys. This is all Cruz. Trump. I think Assad is a bad guy, a very bad guy. And then they asked this Carson, the Seventh-day Adventist. Yeah, what day you talking about with Christ? Carson? I'm sick of it, man. It's Christmas time. Can anybody say Prince of Peace? I shouldn't say Christmas time. No, it went from Christmas to Xmas to Happy Holidays. So I'll be politically incorrect because I don't talk about, I suffered reading that catechism, man. None beat me up, perforated my middle ear. I had to study that thing. The Christ that I learned about is not the Christ that these guys are talking about. Here's Carson. They ask him, would you consider airstrikes that would kill innocent children? Not by scores, but hundreds and hundreds of thousands, Could you wage a war as a commander-in-chief? Carson. Now listen to this stupid jerk babble on about his...
Oh, come on now. That ain't even bullshit. That's horse shit.
It's Carson horse shit. I'm going to read it to you. Well, interestingly enough, you should see the eyes of some of those children when I say to them, we're going to have to open your head up. I think somebody open your head up, Junior. What kind of response is this? I'll tell you what kind. The perfect response for the presidential reality show. And take out this tumor. They're not happy about it, believe me. Oh, I thought they'd be thrilled. And they don't like me very much at that point, but later on they love me. Sometimes you, I sound like him. I don't know what he means here. Applause. Later on, they really realize what's going on. And by the same token, you have to be able to look at the bigger picture and understand that it's actually merciful if you go ahead and finish the job rather than death by 1,000 pricks. Yeah, I'd say there were a bunch of, not even 1,000, maybe 8 up there. Pricks. So the host, so you're okay with the death of thousands of innocent children and civilians? It's like, Carson, you got it. You got it. You got it. Stop using Christ's name. All of you people are not speaking about the Jesus Christ that you claim to be. And I'm no religious guy. You believe what you want to believe in, but stop the bullshit. This is Gerald Celente, and that's some of today's trends in the news.